Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the IRS. I worked for IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice defending taxpayers for 40 years. Next year in August, I'll be doing this actually for 50 years. Don't I? Didn't I look good? Anyway, I am an expert in IRS matters, especially the offer and compromise. I taught the program, so I know the program really well. I have a whole team of former IRS agents. I've done a number of TV interviews you can find on my website at 777irs.com, and I work with a whole team of other former IRS agents. In my own estimation, I believe we're one of the premier tax resolution companies in the United States. I've loaded this up with former agents who know what we're doing. I created this YouTube channel about 2 years ago after I was searching YouTube. I don't look at YouTube a lot, and I seen everyone that was on YouTube, and God, it's like, oh, you gotta be kidding! What is going on out there? So, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. I think there's more not so good stuff out there. So anyway, my job is to educate you, inform you as an insider, and just to make sure you don't get ripped off. That's really, really important. You don't know the calls that I've received over the years, especially in the offer and compromise, that people go, oh my God, I paid this company $20,000, $15,000. I'm still paying them. I haven't got anywhere. Oh my God, what's going on? So anyway, I do this at least so you're educated. We are available for representation. But today I want to talk to you about the offer and compromise and doubt as to liability and what that's for and when you file that. A lot of people may not agree with their tax assessment. They may have been audited by the Internal Revenue Service, and that liability is wrong. There's two things that you can do depending on your situation. You can go ahead and file for an IRS audit reconsideration. That's one thing that you can do, but today what I'm talking about is the offer and compromise doubt as to liability. There's three different type of offers. There's doubt as collectability, you owe the money and you can't pay, or you don't agree with the assessment, that is the doubt to liability. And then one that's really used and frequently, effective tax administration. I'm not going to talk about that. That's not what I'm doing today. So if you disagree with the IRS tax liability and it's wrong, many people don't know they can file an offer and compromise doubt as to liability. So you can pull the form up. It's a 656L. It stands for liability. You must offer IRS some money when you go ahead and file that form. You can actually just offer them $1. That's all you need to offer them. You don't need to make some big offer to them. Offer $1 and they'll have to take it. But you want to make sure that your offer has substance when you file it. There's no, because you're extending the statute by a year plus the time it's an offer status. So you want to make sure what you're doing is correct. So you want to show what IRS says that in fact you owe on a bill or a transcript, and then you must prove that entire assessment wrong. Basically, IRS is going to re-audit what you're sending them. You can't just make a statement that this liability is wrong. You must pretend for those issues that you're bringing them to them on the doubt as to liability. It is an audit, and they're going over these issues all over again. If you cannot prove those issues, you're wasting your time, because as a former agent, when I would work these cases, I look at them and says, well, here's the IRS liability. It says you owe $10,000, but you didn't do nothing to show me you didn't owe that. So you must put together a nice, clear set of books and records and exhibits that you're going to send IRS to go ahead and say, IRS, you're not right. I know I'm right. Here's the record. So that way they will go ahead and they will look at the documents. They'll look at your original return or audit that you have, and they'll have those figures here. Then they're going to look at the numbers that you're giving them. They will re-audit them and make a decision on what they're going to do. Now, keep in mind, for some reason, if that didn't go wrong, you can always file an appeal and go to an appeal agent and go ahead and have somebody else look at it. But remember, don't waste your time unless you have the information. And I'll tell you, the offer and compromise doubt as to liability is the least used of the offers. IRS thinks, well, you just have to owe money, and I'm going to question whether I can pay that or not. But man, if you don't owe the tax, go ahead and file the offer and compromise doubt as to liability and get the liability down as low as they can. At the end of the day, they will go ahead and take off the penalties and interest that were assessed. And if you don't know what you're doing and you're not good communicating with IRS, you really should hire someone, whether it's us, your own accountant, whoever. You want, just make sure they're going to go through an audit. Now, let me tell you this. Don't be afraid to file the offer. They're not going to bring up other years. They're not going to look at other issues. They're going to look at the particular reasons only that you are bringing that doubt to liability to. So don't worry, they're not going to expand the audit. I hope this was good information for you. Remember, you only need the 656L. You can find it online. If you have any questions or need representation, you're welcome to call me. My information is below in the description section. By the way, I'd love a subscription. YouTube really values those for people doing YouTube. So if you'd give me a subscription, I'd appreciate it. You're welcome to leave a comment. You don't like my hat, the cat or dog walking in the back, you're welcome to go ahead and let me know. But those tomatoes back there are looking good. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.